So this is a Goodman GMP075-3, and this is another one of the same. The heat stopped working on this, and we ran diagnostics on it, tested to find out to see if it was the hot firing surface, to see if the fan blower was broken or the sensor for it was broken. What it was doing was, first, it was the purge fan was coming on, then the hot surface igniter was coming on about half the amount of time that it does on the operating furnace, and then the whole unit would shut down without ever opening the gas valve. There was never voltage to the gas valve, and there was no error codes on the LED for the control board for the unit. So I've determined that the board is bad. So we're going to go through the process of replacing that, and hopefully that will fix everything. So, all right, let's get started. After disconnecting the gas and the power to the furnace, I began to label all the wires that were connected to the control board. As I was disconnecting them from the connectors, that way when it's time to configure the new board, it'll be pretty much just plug and play. The board that I bought was this ICM280, Amazon, $65 or $68, but it is compatible with our board. Right here is the model number for that, and it is a B18099-06. And the instructions, before we go up to the attic again, basically the only configuration that we had to do here was to take this 9-pin connector, and we're going to cut the jumpers. The jumper is from pins 1 to pin 4, and all it asks for is that you cut that. Everything else, the instructions are pretty clear, so just follow those. Anyway, we'll get started with that. So another note, it asks you to cut the jumpers 1 and 4 on this 9-pin connector only if you have a GMP or a GMPV series unit, and we have a GMP075. So that's what you do.
Secondary side. Discard. onto the common terminal, the secondary side of the transformer. Place the blue wire fluid onto the common terminal of the secondary side of the transformer. Place the brown wire onto the common terminal. Beyond cool.
Okay, so we've got everything hooked up. The only thing that was a little bit confusing was hooking up the secondary side of the transformer, which is actually what hooks up here. This is the ground, and it's asking you to connect the 24 volt that comes from the secondary. You take that wire, which is this one here, and it hooks up here on this board, 24 volt, right here on this board. Anyway, you just discard this one, as well as this ground, this neutral, which which is the common, and that one just hooks up right here. Anyway, you have to discard both of these, and you hook up the red one that comes with the 9-pin connector from here to this, to the 24 volt on the secondary part of the transformer, and then this lead here has a piggyback, which is the ground that hooks into the fan, and that common hooks up to that. Other than that, it was a pretty straightforward installation. The delay timer on the blower is set at 90 seconds, and that's default. Some units might have a different blower delay. In this case, it just stays the same. But anyway, let's get the power back on and the gas back on and test it out.
Turn the power on at the breakers. Everything looks good here. So let's turn on the power to the unit, and then let's turn on the gas first. So this valve, here we go. And then unit 2. So it's not gonna go until it senses that this panel is closed, but I'm just gonna close it with my foot. There's power. So then the inductor's firing. It's received a call for heat from the unit downstairs.
The thermostat. That was the sound of the relay, I believe, for the hot surface igniter. And there it goes. And then the relay for the heat for the gas valve, and it's going. And then that's the relay for the hot surface igniter going off. It looks like it was the control board. Yay. So just to recap, we have a Goodman GMP075-3 Furnace that was behaving erratically. The heat would try to turn on one time, and it's normal for the units to try to turn on 3 times before failing. So first we tried to replace the things that damage, not replace, but to test the things that are supposed to wear out. In this case, we have a hot surface igniter. I tested the resistance on it. It was 93 ohms. Luckily we have another unit that we tested as well, and it also tested at 93 ohms. We knew that was good. Then what came up next was the inductor sensor. So we made sure that there was no clogs in that. We tested by bypassing the sensor for that, and everything worked. So the last thing that I came to the conclusion was that it was the control board. In this case, this particular unit has a B18099-06. There was no error codes. Normally they have an LED here, a red LED, that will give you some sort of error when the unit's not working properly. It was doing no such thing. So we bought one off of Amazon, ICM280, which is a suitable replacement for this model. The setup to get that configured to replace our unit was fairly simple. It comes with a 9-pin connector that you have to cut a jumper wire on. Other than that, it's pretty much just, you have to make sure that you label your wires as you're taking them off of the original board, and plug them back into place on the new board, and it's fairly simple. Anyway, thanks for watching my first do-it-yourself YouTube video. Anyway, thanks. Bye.